We've had a really busy October. We've had 3 sales in Leicester, Derby and Nottingham. We've had over 130 entries in the 3 venues and really we've had some very strong results as well. The total sales so far has been over £7 million, £7.7 million, and a lot of property has averaged well over its guide price. The word on the street is that the market's beginning to close down, and in fact that's true. There are traits of that. If there are 2 continuing strengths in the market, it's the do-up properties and it's the investment property. The rest, I would say, is probably beginning to flatline a little bit. So anything of a commercial nature or a land nature is beginning to be a little bit harder to sell. But then that's the story across the country. If you look at all the auction houses, they are finding that the market is beginning to harden up and become a little bit more tough. That said, we've had a good time. You're always amazed by what people somehow are prepared to pay. We had a terrace house in Spondon on a guide of 46,000 plus, needed everything doing to it. It sold for £76,000. We had a house in Baseford on a guide of 68 plus that sold for £96,000. You know, these are figures that are well above the guide prices, but clearly people think that there's still some mileage in renovating them, whether they're going to resell them or whether they're going to rent them out. In terms of investment property, particularly if it's high yield, there seems to be a very high demand at the moment for that. And I suppose it's all to do with percentage returns on your capital outlay. But there was one in the Leicester auction which was divided into 8 letting units that sold for £500,000. We had another one in Nottingham which was 7 units. That sold very strongly as well, well over its reserve price. So there's still quite a strong appetite out there for investment property. We had a really mixed bag of stuff across the 3 sales, actually quite interesting. We had a little bit of allotment garden, which sold well. When we had acres of a former colliery site up near Kirkby in Ashfield, which also sold. We had some former nightclubs in Derby city centre and in Nottingham city centre. They both sold as well. So it was a really cross-section of property. I suppose that's not unusual for our auctions. We always seem to get a wide variety. But if anything, I would say that there is evidence that the commercial section of the market is just beginning to lose its appetite. You know, one thing that's always pleasing about auctions is the amount of people that turn up. And although I've alluded to the fact that the market might be losing some of its appetite, in terms of attendance, that's not the case, and we're still seeing huge crowds come. So we've got 3 more auctions this year throughout the end of November and December in the 3 auction venues that are ours, and we've got dates set for the whole of next year. We've got 21 more auctions planned for 2015. So we're looking forward to the new year.